Hello and welcome. I'm Millicent Walker. Tonight, family of abducted Dapchi girl Leah Sharibu appeals to the federal government to secure her release from Boko Haram captivity. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed denies reports of death of Leah Sharibu in the social media, describing it as fake news. President Muhammadu Buhari asked Nigerians to give him another chance in a recorded message, just as his main contender, Atiku Abubakar, takes his campaign to the ancient city of Kano. And tens of thousands gather in Madrid for a protest by right-wing parties opposed to plans to ease the tension in the Catalonia region. The family of the abducted Dapchi schoolgirl still in Boko Haram captivity, Leah Sharibu, is appealing to President Muhammadu Buhari to secure her release. A representative of the family, Dr. Gloria Pulder, told journalists in Abuja that February the 19th, 2019 will mark 1 year since her abduction and other Dapchi schoolgirls by Boko Haram members. She says Leah Sharibu's family is asking President Buhari to make good his promise by ensuring she is freed from captivity. Our correspondent, Linda Kigwe, reports.
A mother's tears. She weeps for her daughter, Leah Sharibu, who was abducted by Boko Haram terrorists on February 19, 2018, and is still in captivity. She makes a plea to President Buhari.
Akan cewa kada a manta da Leah, kuma kada su manta da alkawalin da suka yi mini. Shugaban kasa ya yi kira ni, mun yi magana a waya, ya yi inshorin nawa cewa Leah za ta dawo, suna kokari. In Allah ya yarda za ta dawo. Kuma daga baya ya tura min ministoci guda 3 har Dapchi. Suka je suka yi encouraging nawa kuma suka gaya min cewa in Allah ya yarda Leah za ta dawo.
On February 19, 2018, Boko Haram terrorists abducted Leah Sharibu and 109 schoolgirls from the Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, in Yobe State. The federal government secured the release of 106 of the kidnapped children, but Leah Sharibu is still in Boko Haram captivity because of her refusal to renounce Christianity. Leah's relatives and members of a foundation in her honor ask Nigerians not to forget her.
Leah is in captivity because she refused to renounce her faith. That is why we have decided to call for a briefing. That every well-meaning person, please do not forget Leah in captivity.
I also appeal to the government of the US and other world governments. I plead with you to please take action to free Leah and other girls who are in captivity now.
We would love to hear from all the presidential candidates, what exactly are you planning to bring Leah to freedom? The silence from almost all the presidential candidates concerning Leah and others in captivity, it's not encouraging.
It's 9 days to the 1-year anniversary of the abduction of Leah Sharibu by Boko Haram terrorists, and her loved ones continue to carry the burden and deep ache for a missing daughter and sister, wondering if they would ever be reunited. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has dismissed reports on social media that the abducted Dapchi schoolgirl Leah Sharibu is dead, describing it as absolute fake news. The minister says the reported death of Ms. Sharibu, which surfaced just a few days to the presidential election, is a ploy by the opposition to tarnish the image of the administration and exploit sentiments ahead of the polls. He also described the protest in some circles over the redeployment of police commissioners across the country as the handiwork of the opposition, which he says is working to discredit the police and the Independent National Electoral Commission.
I think it's part of the opposition's strategies to throw everything at this administration and at this president. I think every day they are realizing the hopelessness of their position. Every day they are amazed by the support President is receiving from every part of the country, and they've decided that they are going to spread falsehood, inflame passion, make this election a Muslim-Christian affair, make this election a North-Southern affair. But people are not listening to them. But to come back to the question, is absolute fake news. There's nothing like that.
In Kano today, the Sani Abacha Stadium played host to the PDP presidential rally with a huge turnout of party faithful. Over 12 persons were taken out of the stadium by security officials as they slumped in the crowd. The party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, and members of the Presidential Campaign Council had, on arrival in Kano, visited Mambia House, home of the late leader of the People's Redemption Party, Aminu Kano. From there, the team went to the palace of the Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido II, who received them and prayed for peaceful elections, even as he urged citizens to vote in credible leaders at all levels. President Muhammadu Buhari is asking Nigerians to support his re-election bid as the countdown to the presidential election continues. In a recorded message to Nigerians, the president says that although there's still a lot to be done, his administration's achievement is good enough to earn it a second term in office.
Fellow compatriots, it has been over 3 years since you gave me your mandate to oversee the affairs of our dear country. It has not been an easy journey, but with sincerity of purpose, perseverance, dedication, and most importantly, support from individuals like you, we have made great progress. Some of these achievements are visible for everyone to see. Some are still in the works. I hereby humbly ask for your support again in the coming election to enable us to move to the next level and consolidate on the successes recorded in making our country a better place. I don't take your support for granted. We will continue to work to protect your interests and deliver our mandate. Thank you.
Well, previously, Mr. President was in Taraba State, and following the stampede that led to the death of several persons during his visit at the Jolly Nyame Stadium in Jalingo, the federal government sent a delegation to condole the state government over the incident. The delegation, led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the president considers it a personal loss because the deceased were his supporters who came out based on the affection they had for him. On his part, the state governor, Darius Ishaku, assured the president of his readiness to continue to maintain peace in the state.
He feels personally that this loss is not only to you and the people of Taraba, but it's also a personal loss to him. Because if they were not his supporters and admirers, they wouldn't have come out and participated in that exercise. And for that reason, he felt strongly that he needed to send a delegation to commiserate with you as the governor of the state, because these are citizens that have been entrusted into your hands as the governor of the state. And so we share in your grief. We share in the loss of the people and your personal loss as the governor of the state too.
Mr. President has shown a lot of maturity handling affairs of governance in the country. And as Mr. President, we give him our highest respect for this prompt response. It's a show of concern for the people of the state. And as you rightly pointed out, they were there to welcome me. And there shouldn't have been anything called death near them. But it has happened. And the only thing we'll do is to commiserate with the families.
It's a few days to the February 16 presidential and National Assembly elections, and the two major political parties continue to drum up support for their candidates in different states, not just for next Saturday's election, but also for March the 2nd governorship and state assembly elections. While the politicians seek to woo would-be voters, other stakeholders preach peace before, during, and after the polls.
As political campaigns heat up around the country, the people of Osun State in Nigeria's southwest region have been asked to stay away from fake news, as it has the tendency to cause disunity.
It is high time
This forms part of the discussions as traditional rulers and chiefs in Osun State gather at the palace of the Olowu of Owukuta, Oba Adekunle Makama. The chiefs also ask that security agencies should not be dragged into the murky waters of politics.
without any fear of contradiction. The army is not only a symbol of our national unity and cohesion, it is also the defenders of our territorial integrity, as its personnel sacrifice their comfort for our collective peace.
Moving on to the southeast, where the Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi takes his re-election campaign to the streets and markets as he promises to do more if re-elected. Meanwhile, the Arewa youths in Enugu State have pledged their total support for Governor Ugwuanyi.
No any other governor that work with us, visit us, sympathize with us steady whenever there is need than you, Your Excellency.
And in Imo State, Governor Rochas Okorocha clarifies the reason for contesting the Imo West senatorial seat. At a campaign rally in Isu, Nkwere and Nwagele local government area of the state, the governor, who explains in the local language, says his mission is not just for the development of Imo West, but to be the voice for the entire Igbo nation.
President of Nigeria.
Political campaign tempo is also on the upward swing in the northern region of the country.
Nigeria, hey Baba!
In Niger State, the All Progressives Congress kicks off its campaign in Niger East Senatorial District, beginning from Bushishi and Rafi local government areas. Governor Abubakar Bello promises to complete all ongoing projects embarked upon by his administration if given a second chance.
The focus going forward in the next level is to make sure we complete already ongoing projects, then with a few ones that will impact on people's lives.
The Taraba State chapter of the Coalition of United Political Parties has endorsed the state governor, Darius Ishako, of the People's Democratic Party as their sole governorship candidate ahead of the March 2nd election. This decision, according to the state's CUPP leader, is based on Governor Ishaku's peaceful disposition and developmental strides.
But this CUPP Taraba State Chapter have, after a critical analysis, decided unanimously to adopt and endorse you as a sole governorship candidate for 2019 election in Taraba State.
In the same vein, members of the Forward with Buhari support group take their solidarity to the Kaduna State Government House to assure Governor Nasir El-Rufai of the support not just for his re-election, but that of President Muhammadu Buhari. It's less than 1 week to the Presidential and National Assembly elections. INEC expects all political parties to end their public campaigns 24 hours prior to the election day.
In part 2, after the break, political campaigns across the country continue with just days to the presidential polls. Please stay with us.